Las Vegas Discount.net's the best there is. Save up to 50% on your next Vegas trip. And travel, rental, shows, and tours. Find the deals you're looking for. Las Vegas Discount.net. Las Vegas Discount.net. If you're going to Vegas for deals that are the best, visit Las Vegas Discount.net.
Are you a real estate agent, realtor, investor, or are you in the real estate business and you need new listings and deals? We have a solution for you, and that solution has guaranteed results. How much would you pay to get face-to-face with a homeowner that wants to sell their home? What if you also got their email address and daytime phone number? And what if this homeowner also scheduled you to come to their door at a set time to meet with you? Sound too good to be true? It isn't. And it is 100% guaranteed for you to meet face-to-face with a real homeowner who really needs to sell their home. Not only will you get this remarkable contact system and its 100% guarantee, at no additional charge, you will get weekly coaching, documents, and training on how to get that homeowner and convert them into a new listing. When you purchase, you'll also get a one-on-one walkthrough so that you can start using the system today. Visit www.thelistingmonster.com. That's www.thelistingmonster.com. Or call Diana Ortiz at 213-706-0040. Stop wasting time the old way. Use a monster and get actual results today.
I kind of figured you'd be around. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Distress Marketing Podcast. Welcome to your Monster Marketing Coaching Call. My name is LeeHonish, and as always, I am joined by our brilliant expert and wonderful coach joining us for the first podcast of 2019, David Bartels. How are you doing today, David?
I'm doing just fine, thank you. I'm a little road weary, but glad to be in the office.
David is also the owner of HomeLoanAdvocates.com. Please explain Home Loan Advocates. We have new students as well, David. Please explain.
We do. Well, welcome to everybody. Happy New Year to everybody. Home Loan Advocates is a real estate consulting company who specializes in distressed properties and acquisition and negotiation of short sales. We are rumored to be the largest short sale negotiation company in the world. So if you're having a challenge with a distressed property or a short sale that needs negotiation and you don't want to pay people to do that because we get it for free 73% of the time, you might want to call us at 805-379-3300, 805-379-3300. And of course, you can always email me at david@homeloanadvocates.com. That's plural, david@homeloanadvocates.com.
And we are all here because of the Monster Marketing product. You can go to Honish.com. Hurry up before I reset all the prices. I've decided, per a directive from the startup coaching board in the other room, David, there will be now an annual fee in 2019. There will be. Yes, because apparently people do the program, then come back a year later and want another startup and expect to get right back into it and start sending Diana questions when we do updates or whatever. And she has pointed out to me that the model of a one-time investment is the stupidest model in the history of coaching. And I agree. So for 2019, everybody who's in is in. Everybody who's a coaching student that's kind of been on hiatus, and there are quite a few of those, they will get a notification to make sure that they've been updated. But after that, bad news. Diana is no longer giving freebie advice to anybody who isn't on the approved fly list. And I honestly don't blame her. What is the terminology? If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. So the monster's going up. And the reason for that, and we can talk about this, I think defaults or the default rate is going to climb. I think that affordability going into 2019, I have a couple of topics to talk about for 2019, and we can talk about this. I think based on properties starting to show a bit of a decline in value, right, cooling off period, and the interest rates going up, we have a situation where homes are losing value again. And I keep wondering to myself, when do we start to see that weird, active defaults or strategic defaults to start clearing out loan positions and try to renegotiate with the bank? Because we've now preconditioned homeowners to do that.
Well, I don't know. I don't exactly know the answer, to that. And I'm not sure that strategic defaults are going to have the impact that they had previously when the banks were mass processing applications and prioritizing them based on delinquencies. But we are seeing an uptick in foreclosure. We've been seeing it for some time, actually. It's slight. And I think that that trend is going to continue for all the reasons that we've been talking about. And you said that there were a bunch of new people. So I'll give some of those thoughts. And here's where they're coming from. It's not really coming from the traditional method of foreclosure. It's coming from a new wave. This is what we call second lien foreclosure, junior lien foreclosures, where they have been delinquent for 4, 5, 6 years now, and they're current on their first mortgage, they're delinquent on their second mortgage, and those second lien holders have been patiently waiting for values to grow, and which has happened. Values have grown like 30% over the last 3 or 4 years, and those loans that have an estimated equity that covers the loan, or a large part of it, are now getting foreclosure notices. And we're seeing a lot of second lien foreclosures taking place right now. For the same reason, we're seeing a big increase in HOA foreclosures. So HOA foreclosures are beginning to happen, and which makes no sense when they're short sales, but makes a lot of sense for HOAs when there's equity for them to get a lien on it. So I think that's the trend that we're going to continue to see. We also saw and are seeing a lot of these 10-year interest only. So this is beginning of 2019, which means 2017, 2008, or 2007, 2008. What we saw was a lot of people getting 10-year interest only loans that reset to full amortized loans in 2017, 2018. And we're seeing those. So we've been seeing a pop in delinquency rate. So you've talked a lot over the last year about an increase in delinquencies, and that hasn't yet translated into a big pop in or an equivalent pop into foreclosures, because it's a early indicator, and foreclosure activity is a trailing indicator. But don't be surprised if we start to see those numbers now, as those people get to be 6, 12 months delinquent, and attempts to modify them have failed, and the banks are going to begin just doing foreclosures on those properties.
There you go. Interestingly enough, while we're on this topic, I'll bring up my article du jour. CoreLogic released their next report, and was picked up by the news wires and so forth. CoreLogic thinks prices are going to go up again in 2019.
They might. Is that a nationwide poll or a Southern California poll?
CoreLogic usually bases it they base it on a national poll, and I have been saying this towards the end of last year, which is we're stuck, right? Real estate is a local product. It is individual to each market. When in fact, the individual perception within that market of a homeowner is based on a national perception. Does that make sense?
For sure. I mean, that's where people are getting their news. They're getting national news. So, nationally
kind of a weird
prices are going up. Californians think their prices are going up too. And
right.
And we're not trailing the nation. We're leading the nation. And from a leadership perspective, we've seen a big slowdown that looks like it's about done and should correct itself here in the next couple of months. We should be back to a more normal market versus the seller-dominated market that we've had, the seller advantage market, I should say, that we've had for so many years now.
Yeah, it's it's an interesting fact that real estate per se, and I look at this from the marketing perspective of, it's hard to reach real estate agents when they have a perception generally based on their market. And it's hard for people to wrap their brain around the fact that a homeowner in Iowa has the perception of a general market than of an Iowa market or a Florida market or a California market. They've got the national perspective of, oh, there's an increase in foreclosures. Oh, there's been a decline in value. That might not be accurate for the individual market. And going into 2019, I still think that the biggest problem from a national standpoint, I think there are two glaring issues, and I don't know how that filters down to the individual homeowners and or the real estate agents and investors, David. So I'd like to hear your perspective. Number one, affordability is a real thing. That is got to be the biggest glaring issue of 2019.
Well, I think for sure. The problem with there's a couple of reasons for affordability, and now remember, most of my market data comes from Southern California, where I'm doing, a lot of, certainly is where I'm doing my retail business. But so affordability comes in two factors. One is pricing, the price of a house, and then the other is the cost of a house. So price of a house is obvious, right? It's what people pay for the house. Our median home price is $600,000. Let's call it $600,000 for now in my market. And a median home price basically means that 50% of the transactions in our market are under $600,000 and 50% are over $600,000. That is not the same as an average. The average is actually higher than that. So the average is where you take all home sales and you divide it, the total revenue of the total price of all sold homes divided by the number of homes that are sold to get the average. So in our market anyway, the average is actually higher than the median. The other thing is the cost of home, and that would include obviously interest rates. That would include HOA fees, and that would include property taxes. And lumped into property taxes are probably tax deductions, which Californians have lost. So high price states like California and New York and New Jersey and Connecticut that come to mind, though they are only allowed to discount or to deduct $10,000 of their property taxes, state and local taxes, which would include property taxes. And so for people that have for people that have purchased a house, they're not able to do it. And then you have the interest deduction, which is limited up to the first $750,000 on a mortgage. So if you have a mortgage bigger than $750,000, which is not that uncommon in California, you're not able to deduct that interest. So that stuff all goes into the affordability category. On the good news of affordability is that we've seen prices in Southern California at least come down about 3% in the last year. We saw a decline that started in November. We really started to feel it in May and June, where we didn't have the buyer demand that we normally have over the summer. We saw prices have come down. We're probably 1% or 2% away from being done. We should be able to clear that out here in the next month or two. And I would say by spring, assuming we have normal buyer demand, prices will settle down at a more affordable level, 3 to 5% less than where they were. And on interest rates, we are seeing the interest rates had gotten up just over 5.1% about a month ago, and we've had the fastest retraction I can recall seeing, where rates are now down under 4.5 already over like a 3-week period. And so that is going to make it easier for affordability. And if you think about the anticipated number of listings that we think that we're going to get here coming up, if buyer demand wanes, affordability is going to improve, and buyers are going to have an advantage. But if buyers can meet seller demand or seller inventory, then we're going to see we might see some appreciation, but it's going to be slight. If there's appreciation in our market, it's going to be very slight. We have had no price appreciation in California in the last 12 months.